Get up there. That'll do it, I think. Right, good morning and welcome back to the diary. Thank you for joining me. Back on the big river in Yorkshire today. In fact, back on the same swim as I started my season a few weeks ago. Why have I come back to where I started? Well, over the last couple of weeks, I have to say I've been struggling with my pike fishing for a variety of reasons, a mixture of reasons. Let me explain. Highly recommend these. 2 pairs a pound in Primark. Good morning and welcome back to the diary. Thank you for joining me. I have to apologise, my glasses keep steaming up. And welcome back to the Highlands of Scotland on a very cold -3 on the car when I was unpacking this morning. A very cold Highlands of Scotland. A good covering of snow on the hills overnight, and it's proper piking weather at last. Certainly where I normally go at home, it's been a very warm autumn. Can you hear that? That was a strange bird call. I don't recognise that one. Yeah, so as I say, proper piking weather at last up here for sure. Although the sun's doing its best to burn the mist off, and if it ever comes over the hill behind me, yeah, I suspect it'll get warmed up a bit. Our usual arrangements: a week's holiday, a bit of walking. We did some yesterday, and a bit of fishing. Although I have had one sort of disappointment already on the fishing front. During the summer, in conversation with one of the estate managers up here, guy that I've got to know over the phone quite well. He put me on a spot. He suggested a spot that he knew from personal experience produces nice fish. However, on the way up, the journey up, I stopped to have a look because we actually have to drive past the place. And unfortunately, like many of the locks up here, it's all part of a network of hydroelectric schemes, and the water level, well, frankly, the spot he recommended to me, there wasn't any water. The water level was so low, it was almost out of sight. So that was the first disappointment. Whether we catch anything on a cold morning like this here, I don't know, but rest assured, if anything exciting happens, well, I've just seen a fish rise. That's a start, I suppose. Yeah, if anything exciting happens, I'll be straight back, obviously. Well, that's the first hour gone, and nothing to report. So what have I been doing since you last saw me? Well, my pal Dave and I had a social, our first social of the season, down on the big river in Yorkshire, and that didn't work out too well. Well, we're into the last 15 minutes and absolutely nothing for either my pal Dave or myself. We came to a different stretch of the big river today in the hope that we could avoid the problems that I had with the crayfish on a previous visit. The good news, no crayfish. The bad news, no pike either. So unless something remarkable happens in the next 15 minutes, then this will be my first blank of the season. Hey ho, fingers crossed. So as I said, that was the first blank of the new season. I had hoped to squeeze in a first trip to the carp pond, see if I could get a pike out of there. But unfortunately, the van decided it didn't feel too well, and I had to get that sorted out, and so that didn't happen. And now we've ended up here. Here, well, those of you that are kind enough to follow the diary will probably recognise this. This is where I usually start a trip to the Highlands. And over the years, it's done me some very nice fish. In fact, the last trip, which was, I think, April time last year, I had a very nice fish. So there's always, I always feel there's the chance of a fish when I come here. So that's why as I say, I usually start each trip just here. Tactics, well, as you've seen, 3 rods, sardines on 2 of them, and a brown trout on the other. As I say, that's the first hour, but I am very pleased to say, as you can probably tell now, the sun's just come over the hill. I've been looking forward to this. Not sure if that wasn't a line bite. Certainly can't feel anything. Nah. Well, that's 3 hours. And we're defrosting nicely, but apart from one, what looked like a line bite, I mean, it did unclip obviously, but nothing developed at all, so I suspect it was a line bite. Apart from that, absolutely no action whatsoever. Fingers crossed. Really don't want to start with a blank. 4.5 hours, nothing. I begin to fear the worst. I mentioned earlier about a loch that I was hoping to fish, except for the water has just about disappeared. It disappeared out of it as a result of the hydroelectric generation. This loch doesn't. The water in this loch isn't used to generate electricity. However, it does receive water from further up in the hills from a loch that is generating electricity. The effect on that is that if you look at the rods and the rod rests, they were on dry land when I started. It must have come up a good 4 or 5 inches, if not more. Now, whether that's anything to do with not having any interest from the fish, I don't know. The other thing that's changed is there's just a light breeze got up, but my God, it's cold. It's taking away some of the benefit of the sunshine. So probably another couple of hours just to see it out, but as I say, I begin to fear the worst. Well, that's a blank then. A bit disappointing, but we'll have another chance. See if we can do a little bit better next time. Well, I never got another chance to try for a Highland pike because as a precursor to the arrival of Storm Bert, the weather took a significant turn. And to be honest, we bottled it and decided that discretion was the better part of valour, and we beat a premature retreat before the full impact of the storm arrived. So that was a bit of a disaster, to be honest. A matter of bad timing more than anything. So with all of that going on, I decided coming back here might be worth a try. Those of you that are kind enough to follow the diary will know that I had a fairly special start to my piking season this year, fishing in this swim, and I thought, well, it's worth a try, you never know, might be 2 times lucky. Tactics this morning, well, same as always really. A ledger rod for searching the wider river, and a float ledger down in the margins. I am experimenting though today. I usually use sardines fishing on the big river, and I have a sardine on the float ledger rod, but I've got a big roach on the ledger rod. Now the reason for that is that some of the matches that are held on here, they've been catching a lot of silvers. I've never tried fishing with coarse fish on the big river, and I thought I'd give it a go just to see what happens. Needless to say, I've got plenty of sardines in the box if it doesn't work. Signs of life. Well, the float stood up. Bobbed and has now fallen flat again. I'm not sure. Let's find out. No. No, there are teeth, Mark. Yeah. We'll put it back and see what happens. Well, it's coming up 3.5 hours and the roach hasn't done anything. In fact, that's other than just drop off. So, change of bait, and I'm going to put it back into the main channel and just see if that makes any difference. Well, that's the ledger rod out in the channel. Don't tell me it's dropped it. It was on a sardine. And I think it's dropped it. It's either that or pinch the bait. Let's find out. Yeah, one or the other. Bugger. Hey ho. Well, about 3 hours left. They're just not sticking today, which is a bit disappointing. I feel a fishless fishing video coming on, I'm afraid. Still, time yet. Well, I thought that was going to be something. But it looks like I was wrong. This is definitely a day when they're not going to stick. Well, well. I really didn't think it was going to happen. Let's see if we can make this one stick. Oh, no, no, no. I don't believe it. Shouldn't have said anything. Tempted Providence. Hey, good Lord. Not sure whether it will have felt the hooks or not. Put a bait back and just see if it'll come back. Well, I'm afraid that's it. The struggle continues. Looks like the crayfish found that one. Yeah, so that was a bit disappointing. I suppose we've got to be grateful that we at least had some opportunities, even though I've failed completely to convert any of them to a fish on the bank. So it'll just have to be next time. Hope you enjoyed this. It's obviously a fishless fishing video, but hey ho, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.